What's up, everybody? It's your favorite trader, favorite nerd, and today we are looking at First Order Riot Trooper, otherwise known as TR-8R amongst the fandom. This is the Hasbro one that comes in the 2-pack with Poe Dameron, and this is the SH Figuarts one. And we're just gonna take it step by step, piece by piece, in order. Oh, is that a step by step? Anyway, in order to kind of look at each component. The Hasbro one, accessory-wise, comes with his shield. It comes on in the packaging, and I would advise you not to try to take it off, but you can. It's just I would advise against it because I think you're going to do damage to these armbands here, and then you may have a problem getting back on. Quick update: after the video, I decided I couldn't live with fighting with this thing all the time because I'm always picking it up off my floor. So I did switch them. It was a huge pain in the nuts, but after I did it, this is a lot more of a secure fit on this hand than it is in this hand. And then if you have them posed on a shelf together, you can have like opposing shields, which will look pretty cool. So this is a piece that's glued onto the shield, and then you have the gray paint in there, gray paint there, black and silver paint on the shield itself. And then this figure is the same as this figure. So everything's going to be, so I thought that like these knees were playing tricks on me, but it's the cuts. But yeah, it's the same. So, and to be fair, it's the same with Figuarts too, but we'll get there in a second. So then he comes with this gun as well, which he can hold, or he can clip onto a side of his. You know, people have yelled at me on YouTube and said that, no, it's the small one that clips on their hip, but it's also this one. If you look at the movie, they also have the large rifle clipped on their hip. And then he comes with his Riot Baton, which has silver and then red paint painted down the center, and then you got the black paint and silver paint. So a lot of paint. But he has the trigger holding hand because that's what the other, the First Order Trooper has, because that makes sense in order to hold his rifle. Except this isn't a gun, so he doesn't really hold this all that well. Now you could probably switch hands with the shield, but you're going to do stress to that plastic. But that may be what I have to end up doing because this he just doesn't hold. Oh, he's holding it well now because I said something, but you can see that the connection there is relatively loose. So I may try to switch this at some point, but that point is not going to be today. But all in all there. Now this fella also comes with a fair amount of accessories. We're going to talk about the ones that are not on him now. And that's namely these hands, which are 2 fist hands, a trigger finger hand, I guess, or a holding hand. Like he could be holding the Riot Baton across his body, but you could also use it as a trigger hand. And then the opposite hand doing the same thing. Now I don't think most people are going to be using those because most people are going to be using the Riot Baton, which is done really well. So in order to get it in his hand, you just slide this piece all the way up through, and then once it's there, it's there for good. It's not going anywhere. You got black paint and silver paint, and that's it on there. And then this is like the baton activated, and then you can remove this piece and put this piece in, and it has to go a certain way, and then it's deactivated. So that's a pretty awesome touch to have that option. I dig that an awful lot. And then the shield is this hand is connected to the shield, so it's all glued in, so that you have to use this hand. So then you undo the ball peg and you slide this arm through there, and it connects in, and then this is solid as a rock. It ain't going anywhere, which is a really nice touch. It's well thought out, and I definitely appreciate it. And sculpt-wise, as you can see, it's also the same as their previous release. This one I have looked at in detail, and this is the same exact mold. So money saved there from both companies. Alright, so we're just going to go back and forth and do one at a time. So the Hasbro one, the head is on a ball hinge, so you get back to there, down to there. You can't really move it any further because of the sculpt, and then side to side. You got black paint that's done fairly well, little spotty around the edges at times, but for the most part it's done fairly well, and the line work is done actually better than the larger work, which is odd, but it is the case. The SH Figuarts head, you got a double ball peg into the neck and then a double ball peg into the torso, so you get a much wider range of motion all the way down to there, all the way up to there, and then side to side is intact. It is hollow up underneath, but so is the Hasbro one, just not to the same extent. And then the paint is done much sharper, and the black is much fuller in all places. The diaphragm joint on the Hasbro one is done really well. all the way around, and it doesn't really break up the sculpt that much at all, and the swivel is completely intact. The SH Figuarts one is not done as well, but it has 2 joints where the Hasbro one has 1. So you get the ball peg. Actually, it's a double ball peg, but you have to be mindful of the sculpt because it does get hung up, and the range of motion is greater. It just is not as smooth. And then you get the waist swivel as well, which the Hasbro one does not have. The belt on this one all has these articulated flaps so that you can get them out of the way in order for the hips to do that far of a split, and then forward up to there, backward to there. The Hasbro one, the pouches are intact, so you get only out to here and forward to there. So much more limited. Knees on the Hasbro one are double jointed, get you all the way around. Knees on the SH Figuarts also double jointed, does not get you as far, but maybe looks cleaner. That could be argued. Thigh swivel is built into the bottom of the universal joint here. Same with the thigh swivel here, except it's more of a range. You have more range open to you. Moving down the ankle, you have a ball hinge, so you get a full tilt back, a little bit of a tilt forward, and a slight ankle rocker that gets hung up on the armor here. The SH Figuarts, you get a full tilt up. I wouldn't say it's going to be a full. It's a relatively limited tilt up, limited tilt back, but you get a full rocker, and you get a toe tilt. For the Hasbro one, you get a ball hinge shoulder, which gets you to there, and the shoulder armor kind of tucks inside the torso armor, which isn't a bad option given the price point. And then you get no bicep swivel, but you get an elbow swivel and a single hinged elbow that's greatly impaired, getting you maybe 45 degrees, and that's me being lenient. And then a wrist swivel and a hinge only in and out. For the SH Figuarts, you have a disc hinge at the shoulder connected to a hinge inside. I guess it's one single hinge, it just sits inside. And then it also operates as a butterfly joint. Then you have the armor here that's on a ball peg on a hinge connected to another hinge so that you can move the arm up and then adjust the armor as need be to kind of protect it. But neither one of them do a bad job of articulation in the shoulder department. And you could argue that the Hasbro one does look better, although maybe it's not as quite efficient. And then you have a bicep swivel here and a double jointed elbow, getting you much more of a range, and then a wrist swivel as well as a hinge to get you the up and down, and I don't think you can rotate that swivel. No, you cannot. So that's that. Same for the other side. And the shield, I didn't talk about the paint here, but you see there's that thin, like it's thinner around the edges of that diamond in the center. I really like that look. I'm not sure if that is intended or an error, but I really like the way it looks. Back of the figure, pretty clean. Back of the Hasbro one, also pretty clean. So I would say that those are comparable as well. So final thoughts wise, the materials on the SH Figuarts one are better. The accessories on the SH Figuarts one are better. The paint on the SH Figuarts one is better. But is all that stuff at the price point of the SH Figuarts one versus the price point of the Hasbro one? It's maybe not quite enough. What's funny is that their articulation is fairly comparable, but it's those little extra articulation bits in the SH Figuarts one that allow the figure to be so much more expressive that really blows the Hasbro one out of the water in the terms of having a shelf presence. It's little things, like I can't describe it. I had Joe KW over here the other day. He was looking at my Star Wars shelf and he saw Phasma and he was just like, wow, there's just so much attitude in this figure, the SH Figuarts one. It's just because of the way that she's able to like lean into her hips and stuff, and it just allows for so much more expression to come through. Now, is it worth an extra 20 to 30 bucks? You know, I don't know. You know, to me it is. Now, this one was 40 bucks, but the Hasbro one was 40 bucks, but it came with Poe Dameron, and so, you know, if that is, you know, that's a separate ball of wax, right? Because you're getting 2 for 1. And I get it. I totally get the price thing, but I'm just saying, until you have them on your shelf, you don't know what I'm talking about. But if you ever are debating, like, should I go Hasbro, should I go SH Figuarts, whatever, my advice is if you have this Target exclusive Hasbro Riot Trooper, to go ahead and pick up the SH Figuarts one. What do you have to lose? You know, at the very least, you're troop building, right? And just sit them on the shelf and just walk past them every day, just once a day. And you tell me after a month if you don't appreciate the difference in the SH Figuarts one. Because I think you will. Other than that...
So look, sometimes coming up with a skit more difficult than others. There was literally nothing about this review that made me think of a skit. So instead I'm going to show you a trick. But before I do, I want to give a shout out to my Broad Street bully, Sunday Heat. He's got a YouTube channel, he's reviewing stuff, he's getting back into the swing of things, he does some commission work with me, we have a good relationship, so I want to give that gentleman a shout out, check him out. Secondly, the trick. Anyone can do it. So if you take your hand like this, and you bend your ring finger to a 90-degree angle at the first knuckle, you can make the tip of it do this. Freaky, right? Everybody can do it. Little special treat from the gods.
The good news is they're relatively the same size, so they can exist in the same universe. And can you ever have enough stormtroopers? Probably not. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.